Yeah, I guess the future will be televised. You within range of your greatness, graciously be advised. We tap into inspiration, generational kind, and moving mountains for the gems they could never find. We take the dive a little deeper every single time. We let the art in every single thing they go behind. In every scene to bring the greatness out. Whatever it is, please just make it count. Then tell the story to the world when you make it out. You are now within range. You are now within range. That's all I know.
That's all I know.
You are now within range.
That's all I know.
You are now within range.
That's all.
You are now within range. You are now within range.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Within Range podcast. Ear God, Jared Suter, Dom Juan. People don't know, but it's been a minute since we've done this.
It's been a while, dude. It's been a month.
Took a break
or more.
Yeah.
You know?
Took a break back
Took
to
a little
it.
Rick Rubin break, dude.
Yeah.
Disappeared for a bit.
Yeah.
Well, we did pop out. We were at the Matty Ice event.
We did.
We
We
did
did.
show up
That was
there.
fun. That was fun.
But we have a very special guest in the house today. A first for the pod. Proud to say we have our first female guest ever on the Within
Ooh.
Range podcast.
Yes.
In the new
Mhm.
stew. New look.
Yeah.
New
Such a
studio.
beautiful
New look
studio.
A
offense
little
here.
color different.
We got a new
Yeah.
playbook.
Beautiful studio.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Absolutely.
But we've been keeping up with her for quite some time. I think she's been keeping up with us as well. Excited to learn more about her story and journey. Jack of all trades. I mean, we're talking photographer, business owner, MC, talent scout. Maybe is there some?
Oh man.
There's some roster building
Working
we're
with
doing.
the
over
best.
here?
Yeah.
What we
Working with the
doing?
best already.
Right.
All right. But ladies and gentlemen, we are excited to have Jamila on our show today. Get the claps.
I would like to say multi-faceted creative rather than jack of all trades.
Beautiful.
Nice. Okay. Good.
nice,
See, that's
Drew.
what Drew. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Keeping us honest.
Putting that on
Keeping
my
us
Instagram
mongrels
for
in
sure.
line.
Yeah, that's
here.
that's the Instagram title right there.
That's for sure the Instagram title.
Multifaceted creative. I like
Yeah,
it.
that's really cool.
Awesome. Well, hey, look, we got a lot to get into today. We're excited to have you on. Thanks for making the journey, the trek. From what I understand, you're
PB.
originally born St. Louis. For
Yes.
those of us who don't know St. Louis or those who aren't familiar, talk to us about what it was like growing up there.
It's like a super music culture based city. I know it gets kind of a bad rep because of East St. Louis, which actually is in Illinois, not Missouri. So, but it's easy to get lost because if you cross, there's the bridge right by the arch, and you kind of take two like suspect left turns, and you're definitely like not where you think you should.
Not in
be.
Kansas anymore.
Yeah, definitely
Oh
not.
man.
But I kind of grew up more towards the city. So I was born in Soulard, which is closer to downtown. But I grew up in a place like the Bolivar. That's the name of it. If you're from St. Louis, it would, I guess, technically be like Del Mar.
Okay.
And that's basically where my grandma's house is. It's like right behind the Del Mar Loop. So St. Louis is cool though. It was really great. I had it was pretty dope. I don't know. It's just like really, there's just so much culture there. So
Nellie's from there.
yeah,
I mean,
it really
that's a
is.
big deal.
It is.
you
That
know?
was huge.
I think people, and not to say that, I wouldn't say St. Louis is a slept on city, but when you really look at artists that come from St. Louis, you're like, man, like there's some dope people to come out of there.
And there's a
Right.
lot of people you wouldn't expect. Like, did you know SZA's from St. Louis?
Oh no way! Really?
not know
Not
that.
know that.
She
Okay,
is. She was
that's cool.
born there, but I don't think that she. I think she was like raised in Indiana or New York or. I was reading this. the
21
other day.
Savage was born in London. Or
Yeah,
whatever, so it's,
yeah.
okay. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Or Metro Boomin.
It's
Metro
not where
Boomin's
you're
from
at. It's
St.
where
Louis.
you're. Where
Oh
you
yeah,
stay.
Metro is from St.
Yeah,
Louis.
he
Yeah,
is,
that's
yeah. A lot
right.
of legends out of the city. Smino. A lot of popular people.
Man.
Yeah. It's interesting because a lot of times they migrate to bigger cities nearby, like Smino and SZA gravitated towards Chicago. There's a studio I
Yes.
used to intern at that they helped cultivate them, and it's really cool that like they started in one city, they gravitate towards a bigger city, and then they really get their roots from there. But then they go back to like repping where they're from, and it just takes just that little bit. It's almost like going off to college. It's like the college
Yeah.
experience for artists type of thing.
Well said. Well said.
You got to try out different sceneries every now and again. speaking of different sceneries, how was your journey to Arizona? How did that come about?
Oh man, my mom is she's a registered nurse, and she's always liked to just go. She's a goer.
Traveling
Oh yeah.
nurse.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
well,
Oh yeah.
I've seen a traveling nurse paycheck once or two.
What kind of
let me
nurse?
say.
What
Let
unit
me
did she
say.
work?
Oh, what's that?
What unit did she work? What kind of nurse did she?
So when we were kids, when I was a kid, she was in the ER a lot, like
Ooh, that's stressful.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And she did the overnight shift.
Oh yeah,
So
it's the wildest things anyone can
man,
imagine.
I'm really glad
Yeah.
that she didn't really. We were kids, so she didn't really share a whole lot of details, but I can imagine. And I really like so Arizona. I really don't know like where it came from. One day she kind of came home and was like, Arizona, and I was like, all right. I mean, I'm in 7th grade. I don't really have much of a choice, but yeah.
Do you know she had visited prior? Maybe went on a vacation here? or
Never,
something?
dude.
Really?
Never. I don't know. I
Just
don't.
dart at the map.
Man,
type
I'm
shit.
really thinking that's what happened.
What
She
year
hasn't
was this? She just saw
confirmed it.
Randy Johnson pitching and was like, "That's the city I
That's the
need."
guy.
That would have been
Yeah.
2001, dude.
Yeah, you know what? It was the same year because we had Kurt Warner on the St. Louis Rams. It was the same year that Kurt Warner came from St. Louis to the Arizona
Ah,
Cardinals.
that's
Symbolic.
interesting.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's so
Oh,
symbolic.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was the exact
American
same year because we
hero.
were like, dude, is he like following us?
That's a story we
yeah,
can stick to.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm
Very
like really
cool.
terrible with my years. So and pretty much like all memory in general. But I just remember that because it was on the news. I remember turning on the TV. It's like Kurt Warner's coming to the Arizona Cardinals. I'm like, dude, what?
Like,
this
no way.
happened.
What?
I was associate time with music. I could be like, wait, what year was that? Oh yeah,
Perfect.
DMX had 2 albums that year, and then
Mhm.
What was I listening to obsessively on repeat at that point? Like, oh yeah, Fly Like a G6. Yeah, 2000, like 10, 11. Yeah.
what a bag that was. Huh?
Yeah.
Man.
I used
Oh,
to do a comparison of my life where I was at the time by which Drake album was out at the time.
10 years in the game, so yeah, you
Right.
can go back
Fair enough.
10 years.
Yeah.
And then Surprise, Arizona,
Oh yeah.
the West Side.
Yeah.
went to
yeah.
high school out
That's
there?
like deep west, yeah. I did. I went to Valley Vista High School, which so when I started high school, it was the first year that school was open. So there was only a freshman class and a sophomore class.
Oh, no way,
Teachers
okay.
had no base off to go. They were just winging it.
Nothing. I mean,
A fresh school like that?
yeah, oh yeah, and we were. I remember them saying all the time, like, yeah, you guys are gonna set the foundation and the traditions, and I'm like, that's a lot of pressure. That's a
Look,
lot of
I'm
pressure.
just trying to survive here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really
Right.
just want to
I
get
just
through
get-
this.
I'm new here.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah. It was cool though. Valley Vista is a really good school. I still talk to a lot of people from Surprise, and you know what? I lived in Surprise in the time when there was nothing there. So if you go there now,
Amazon took over.
man,
Amazon is all over Surprise.
oh my god,
I have a buddy who lives out there. Every time I'm like, man, that warehouse looks bigger every time. I
Yeah.
drive by
Just
it.
keep adding on to
Yeah.
it.
That part of the Sim City just keeps
Yeah.
conglomerating. Yeah.
There was like nothing there when I first got there. We were absolutely bored out of our minds.
It's grown like crazy.
Oh
out
my
there.
gosh. I don't really go back often. I think I went back a few months ago and I was like, holy I don't even know. I don't even know where I am. Like, what is this? What is this? What is this city anymore?
And so the photography thing, right? I feel like that's, it's a big part of what you do.
Absolutely.
Was that something that you picked up in St. Louis, or did that kind of move with you to Arizona? Can you talk to us about the start of that?
I guess technically, yeah. So my dad and my grandpa are both photographers, and my grandpa was actually he took like this picture in St. Louis. Actually, it's like of a woman's butt, but it was so I don't remember what year this
Did
was.
the Jack Dawson, the Titanic?
Yeah.
So you did one of those?
for sure. And it's like a pretty popular picture in the city. I really don't remember what
Is it like
year.
displayed somewhere?
Yeah, it is. And I know it was like in a ton of magazines, like local magazines in the city, and
Do
some
you know what
like,
it was called? Did
Dude,
you have a
I
name
don't-
for it?
We didn't do our homework enough, dude. We
Dude,
missed that one.
No,
That's
you're
awesome.
super good,
Awesome.
man. It was so long ago. I'm like his granddaughter. I don't even remember. So I don't even remember. I just know I remember hearing about it all the time. It's funny. I knew my grandpa was a photographer. I knew my dad was a photographer, and never really thought I kind of just like naturally gravitated towards it. So I wasn't like, oh yeah, I want to be like my dad. I want to be like my grandpa. It was
They didn't
just
force it on you.
No, not at all.
You're like, just
not
like,
at
this is
all.
pretty cool.
No, I
What are
just
you doing
kinda
in
was-
that dark room?
yeah, exactly. I picked up a digital camera when I was a kid. I think my mom got me like a little Canon Power Shot, and then I just took it everywhere.
I know.
And
People forget that you'd have like a little lanyard for it. People would take
yes,
them
little
out, and
wristlet.
people would be like, "Oh, I got a bigger memory card in this one."
Yeah,
And
buddy.
Remember uploading
Yeah.
Facebook albums of just whatever was on your camera? Like you
Everything,
didn't screen
dumps.
anything. Yeah, you would just put the worst pictures on planet Earth
Absolutely.
on there. You're just like, "Oh my god, people are gonna love this."
Yeah, the flash on those was like super obnoxious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have a Nikon Coolpix. It was a red one. And
Yes,
cool
my dad had
pics.
one of those.
Mhm.
I remember the cool pics.
Those were
Man.
pretty sweet.
and it was cool because it was almost like having a car in your pocket. Like if you had a car, girls wouldn't gravitate towards you to give them a ride somewhere. When you had a camera in your pocket, everybody wanted to take pictures.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
just fill up the memory cards, put them on MySpace, or put them on Facebook. Like, and those were like the memories that you would have. And then once the smartphone, I think, came out, once everybody had an iPhone, realized, okay, we can use this as our digital camera now. It's really cool to know like the memories that you can quickly capture. But I think where it's cooler about like our age group is the tactile of having a separate device that you had to utilize with that.
Separate from your everyday
Right.
carry,
Yeah.
right?
It takes
Right.
effort. Like
Yeah.
I was talking about with my girlfriend in Greer this weekend. I was like, I want to take pictures, but like I was fishing, we were hiking, like we had a dog with us, and I'm just like, it takes effort to do it. So it's like I was like, I'm much more grateful in my older age for the person in the crew that's like diligent about taking pictures of everyone. even though
Someone's gotta
people get
capture it.
annoyed. Sometimes people get
100%.
annoyed. They're like, oh my God, again. And it's just like, you're gonna be happy you had
Yep.
that. You will be
Absolutely.
happy you
Mhm.
took that
100%.
10 to 20 seconds.
Right.
Absolutely.
That little memory
And-
lasts forever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it's like good to because I have like I said, I have a horrible memory. So it's good to just go, oh my God, dude, I like totally forgot that. I totally forgot that happened. Also just want to put out there, I am not the friend that takes the pictures when we're like on the camping trip. That is for sure not me.
You're like, they gotta pay the fee.
I almost always like forget my like phone or the fact that it has a camera.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I kind of just live in the moment.
I wish that was the same thing for me. I'm definitely not. I feel like that's just my I'm like the tech service, the tech support, that always somebody calls and says, "Hey, we're having a problem with this." I feel like that's just always on 24/7. So I wish I had your
That's a
grace of
righteous
like,
position.
I'm going over here. Don't call me. Don't ask me unless you're going to pay the fee.
Yeah.
We added that play, Drew. We appreciate it.
Yeah, for real.
It's
on,
like that
dude.
scene in Zoolander when he's like, "Yeah, it's in the computer," and we're like, "It's inside the computer."
like, get out the screen.
It's a labor of love,
dude.
though. So I have to ask you, what was like your first like set of photographers that like inspired you when you started kind of going on the journey and like started saying, okay, what type of diverse type of pictures that people are taking? Like, who were some of your favorite photographers?
So I think when I was, and still to this day, Gordon
Mhm.
Parks is probably one of my favorite photographers. And I'm like a sucker for like themes or like just like really cool concepts. So another one is Annie Leibovitz. I think she's probably the first. She actually took
Okay,
that
I like Annie
picture of
Leibovitz.
that Rolling Stone cover. She's most known for the Rolling Stone covers.
Mhm.
She did the one of there's one of like Whoopi Goldberg in a bathtub, and she's like covered in like it looks like milk. It might not be
Really?
milk. I'm not sure if it's milk, but she's in the bathtub and she's kind of just got like this like really like gigantic expression on her
Mhm.
face, and she's like in this tub of milk, and I love that picture.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
To show that one when we dropped the episode
Yeah,
of Flash.
yeah.
I don't think I've
Yeah.
seen that one.
Yeah, there's the I think the one she's most known for is like the one with John Lennon and Yoko Ono,
Okay.
where he's
Oh.
kind of like laying on. I think she's on the ground and he's kind of like curled up.
Are they like butt naked?
Yeah, well,
okay.
John
Or
Lennon was.
John
she,
Lennon was.
she had a
Okay.
sweater.
That sounds like she came up with that idea.
Yeah, she wanted to
A lot
show
of
that
people
off,
say
yeah.
she was the downfall.
Have you
Did I
seen
hear
that one?
that?
I heard about it on the
Man.
Bill
Yoko
Burr
took a bath.
podcast. Who was he? It was John Lennon was playing with Chuck Berry on live TV. Have you ever seen this?
No.
Dude, they're playing just this awesome riff, and the moment's awesome, and you can like tell that Yoko Ono is just like the attention's not on me. And I kid you not, dude, like they're playing like, you know, it's like it's the Beatles and Chuck Berry. It's
Yeah,
Dude,
it's not like
epic.
listening to Korn.
legendary.
It's nice,
don't
pleasant
shit on
music.
Korn, dude.
And she just out of nowhere, and she looks like the girl from what was it, The Ring, the one that was like 7 days.
Oh,
and then
Yeah.
man.
she looked like the girl from The Ring, and she just goes, yeah, like makes the craziest noise you have ever heard.
What?
Dude, Chuck Berry's face, you'll bust out laughing, dude. Chuck
Oh,
Berry's like,
man.
what the? And they cut her mic so that she stopped doing
No,
it. But like,
cut
there
her
was
off.
just this moment, dude. Chuck Berry was just like, what the? And he looked at John Lennon like,
Dude,
is
is
that
this
your
you?
woman?
That's
you,
you.
dude.
That's me.
Come get your girl, dude.
That's all
'Cause
mine. What's
was
that video? He's
crazy,
like, it's
dude.
all. That's all me.
Dude,
Man.
It's all mine.
Man. And then what he
Uh,
says like his homie, it's like, ah, dude.
Yeah.
How do you
call
explain that
Yeah,
one,
how
dude?
do
In
you
the
explain
garage, having garage beers later? You can't.
Garage.
What was up with that, dude? Yeah, she does that. I don't
or
know.
he's like
That's-
hyping her up. Dude, that was dope, right? Like that was really cool, huh?
Yeah, no, you can't. You
Nah,
can't defend
man.
it. It was undefendable.
Nah. Chuck Berry, also from St. Louis.
Oh, no way, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
no
yeah.
nice.
shit.
Oh, yeah. There's like a
knowledge.
star like in
Cedric the Entertainer.
Yes. Yeah.
Cedric the Entertainer's from St. Louis.
In Delmar, it's called the Delmar Loop. There's actually a star of the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Is that what it is? There's one like that in from all the artists from St. Louis.
Nice.
Chuck
Oh, no
Berry's
way.
on
Oh,
there,
that's
yeah.
cool.
I think Chuck Berry's is like right by the post office.
Yeah,
if I'm
Chuck
not
Berry. Chuck
mistaken.
Berry needs to have a great spot.
Oh
in the
yeah,
city.
it's
I
fine.
would-
The
I would
post
assume.
office totally
From.
works.
I would assume.
I was there a lot, so it makes sense.
So what was the first time you took a picture and either the picture itself was cool or you edited it in a cool way or you like went out for like an intentional photo shoot? Like what was the first time you took a picture and you were like, nice?
I don't really have a particular time in my mind just because like I said I forget most things, but I can remember my first little, like I said, the little Canon power shot. And I went to, so my grandma's house was across from this elementary school whose name also escapes me. I'm sorry, everybody at home. I'm sorry. But there was like a huge it used to be a parking lot and they turned it into, it's like this big like slab of concrete. I guess that's where the kids are supposed to play. There's like nothing there. It's empty, just this vacant lot, and that's
People
where the
don't
kids
know about
go.
that childhood these days. They
The
don't understand
vacant
that.
lot.
Yeah, they
but
just,
there was like a fire hydrant,
they just
in
kick you
there.
out. Oh, the fire hydrant.
and someone
okay.
would always like every summer crack it off and just like let all the kids like
Nice.
play. But I remember taking pictures. I've got two brothers, and so I took this like really cool picture of them kind of up against the side of the school, and I thought that was pretty cool. And that was kind of like my first like journey into like flash, because the flash on those cameras sucked. But I thought it was a really dope picture. So I think that's pretty much it. And then after that, I was hooked. There was also a time in 5th grade. I don't remember what the picture looked like, but my 5th grade teacher, Miss Woods, and I remember her because she was pretty significant to me deciding that it was photography and video that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Because she kept pushing me towards it. I was like, I just like taking pictures. Like, I don't
Mhm.
know.
Don't hound me about it.
How do you
dude.
make money like just taking pictures and like hanging out? So, but she's like, take more pictures. So I remember her kind of always hounding me and getting on me about just like trying to move forward with it, making like short videos and stuff like that. And so she brought me in 2 other students from her that grade, and we had to build like a PowerPoint presentation to give to like the senator of Illinois, who at the time was Barack Obama.
No way.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
Very cool.
And so we made this PowerPoint, and I believe the theme was like something like, how will technology influence the future generation? Like when they start adding technology to school, like computers and cameras, and when things start upgrading, how it will be influential in school in the future. And I was like, that is like, I am a 3rd grader. And that's
You're like,
a
I'm pretty
lot
sure
of
rocket
pressure.
power is on in like 20 minutes. I gotta get out of here. Yeah.
Shout out Miss Woods, because she was really always like pushing it for me, like really trying to push me to like think about these things. And I'm just like, dude, I just like want to take pictures with my
I'm
friends.
literally just vibing right now. Yeah.
I just want to chill,
Yeah.
dude. But I guess she saw something, so shout out to you, Miss Woods. So we made this PowerPoint. I remember it took us a couple of weeks to make, and then we went on a field trip and we met Barack Obama. That was pretty cool.
Damn.
So that was like right when he was I'm pretty sure he was the senator, but he may have been like something else. But I know he was there, and I got this really cool picture of him with me, and I'm kind of like pointing to I don't know if I was actually talking about anything, but I was like pointing to the laptop like with Barack, and I was just kind of like,
that probably that
Damn.
newspaper ate
yeah,
that.
great.
Yeah.
I was like showing him, this is how we do stuff at school. See,
If I were, I mean, you don't have that frame somewhere? That's got to be.
my mom
You
has
were
it.
like,
I was
this
gonna
is, so this
say.
is called RuneScape,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it's actually a virtual village with.
Dude, I was, oh my gosh, like in computer class, RuneScape, and because you'd have you couldn't go on the internet at school.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so someone, oh my gosh, there was like a hard drive that got passed around, and it had this like file in it where you could click on it, open it up, and you could like check your MySpace and go online, the internet. Because like
Wow.
schools blocked
Yeah.
the internet. You couldn't go on the internet.
Mhm.
So it was like an early day VPN.
Yeah.
It's on the phone.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
definitely what it sounded like.
I remember the elementary school I went to. I remember I was so young. I didn't even process like what it was. I was like 5, I think. But I remember now, like the kids were in there playing Dune, or not Dune, Doom.
Doom, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And I remember watching that and watching this kid like on a keyboard and a mouse moving around, just destroying these monsters with guns. And I just remember being a kid being like, what is this wizardry? I had no idea what was going on. And then I'd go home and play Minesweeper, and I'm like,
Oh man,
yeah.
Minesweeper was good.
Then
shit.
Halo came out, and it was all
Oh,
downhill
Halo.
from there. Yeah, there.
Minesweep though, classic. I just found out how to play that because when I was a kid, I just would click and just like, well, there I
Yep.
go, I blew up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
never
yeah.
understood
The
like what's
number-
going
yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
And I'm
What's all
like,
these numbers? What do
oh
these
yeah, the
mean?
numbers mean something. Shit.
I'll just click till I blew up. All right, I'm doing good at this,
Yep.
man.
I may have heard something, a fun fact, I guess you
Okay.
can call it. Is it true that, for those of you who know this, that you auditioned for all of that? When you were a
I
kid.
did, yeah, I did. That's
This
so
is
amazing.
all.
I
definitely
been wanting to-
yeah,
TLC.
I definitely been wanting to hear
What's
about
that?
that.
Oh, sweet, dude. Cool.
Talk
It's
to
a
us.
pretty great story.
Talk
so
to us about that.
I loved all that.
Who didn't? Listen,
that
if
was
you-
such a
it was-
good
If you grew up in that era, you
Was
did
that at
watch
the same
shit?
time as the Amanda show, or did that come after?
Yeah,
I
that
think it
was-
was.
it
I
was
think
around
it was
the
a
same
little.
time,
I think it was
right?
before because
Was it
remember
before?
Amanda starred
That's
on all
what
that.
it was. Okay, she
and
started
then
on
she
all
got her
that.
own
Yeah,
show.
okay, that's
Keenan
what
and
it
Kel-
was.
Kel
Yeah,
came
it was
after.
after.
Kel,
Okay,
Yeah,
she
it
was
was
after.
after.
All right.
They all got their kind of like spin-offs of that show. So, oh my gosh, all that. Okay, so I did not. So I was born in '92. So all that. When it was like in its prime with like Lori Beth and Keenan and Kel and Amanda, I was still just like a little kid. So
Right.
the season I applied for was like the last one that kind of sucked. But like it was like an all new cast. None of them
Oh.
were funny. It wasn't even cool. But I just wanted to be on the show. So
They're
they
just
had
trying
like
to keep the band together.
yeah, exactly. I was
Right.
like, I'm gonna bring it back. This is my job, my mission in life. I'm bringing it back.
Saving it. You're trying to just invite you to save
I
it.
am hilarious. So so they had like a funniest kid in America competition for all that. And actually, I think there's like one commercial on YouTube. And I play it every once in a while just to see what could have been. So I was
That's awesome.
my mom, I was like begging my mom, dude, please, like I have to bring back all that. This is my destiny. This is like what I'm
Can't
You were
let
the
it
John
die.
Taffer.
We can't let it die.
The John Taffer bar rescue of all that. You were like, you were gonna come in there and just right the ship.
I
Yeah.
had to, man. I was like, for Keenan and Kel, mom, for Keenan and Kel. So I think it was like the last 2 or 3 days that you could audition. And so I had her film me. And I just did like all these like weird personalities. I've always kind of had like different voices and different like personalities that I like to pretend to be. So I just
I get
kind of
that.
did like if you actually probably watch the tape now, it almost looks a little psychotic because it's just like me going in and
I
out
would
of
love to
these
see
characters.
people's
like,
Survivor tapes for years or decades too. Same thing. There's plenty of those. You're not
Man.
alone.
Oh my gosh. And I was just like this like super goofy kid. I hadn't grown into my teeth, so my teeth are like huge and my head is like tiny. So I just did like these like random array of all my characters and voices. And I think I had like an old man, I think I had like an older, creepy like woman who was always complaining about it like raining. It kind of rained a lot in St. Louis, so she was always complaining about the rain. And so my mom sent it off, and I told her, I was like, dude, it has to get here by this time, mom. You don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, this is so important. So
That's
Never got a
awesome.
call back, but I do remember like a couple months later, the episode, there was like a special on TV where they were kind of like, we were going through the tapes and we've reviewed all the tapes of all the funniest kids in America. And then I remember like the final like 5 finalists who were not funny, by the way. And I remember 3 of them were like actors that I had already seen in like other TV shows.
Oh.
And they became like the final 3 because I think maybe 2 of them were like 2 kids. They just kind of, and I don't even think they came in the tapes. I
Well,
really
listen,
think they
it's
just
probably
went
those
outside.
kids who ended on Dark Side of the 90s.
Oh, man.
Let me just say that.
Oh,
It might have been them that ended up
You
on
know
there,
what?
so.
It's a blessing for sure.
Is that the
It's a
Nickelodeon
blessing
one?
for
Right.
sure.
Is that the Nickelodeon
haven't
one?
seen
No,
it,
I heard
that's-
about it.
Because you know who
Sometimes I
produced all that.
Sometimes I don't need that darkness in my heart.
know.
Dude.
Sometimes I know that that's out there, and
Dude.
It's called
it's the
Dark Side for a
arts,
reason,
The
dude.
dark arts, brother.
It's
Man.
called, it's called Dark Side for a
It's the
reason.
dark arts.
Man. Now, you know what? They say rejection is protection.
Right.
Dude, because
Hey.
there's no way.
Listen.
Not old Dan Schneider. No way. Dude. My gosh. So just, I was super bummed then, but knowing what we know now, I'm so good, man. I'm
Dodgeball.
Yeah,
so
you're
good.
like, man,
So-
yeah, it was
man.
hard to watch. It was hard to watch.
maybe
all
I
that shit.
don't really want to bring it back. Maybe I wasn't. That wasn't my.
What a
sole purpose
great
in life.
time though. What a great show. I feel like that was like pure mid 90s. Like
Oh, yeah.
smack dab in the
Mhm.
middle.
That
like,
was like
yeah.
so. Like what else was
95,
going?
96.
SpongeBob was going crazy at the
Yeah.
time.
SpongeBob
right?
was a little later. I think.
SpongeBob
was
was like
2000s.
99.
Yeah,
99,
it was like
okay,
into
okay.
the 2000s.
Yeah. What a great show too.
What
man.
was the other Are You Afraid of the Dark?
That was a cool
Do you
one.
remember that?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, I remember that one. I feel like I saw more of like a All Real Monsters, a little Pinky in the Brain.
Oh yeah, All Real
Okay.
Monsters was
Um,
cool.
okay.
Man.
All Real Monsters,
you a
Rocket Power.
Were you a Ren and Stimpy guy? That was dark.
Ren and
that was
Stimpy
dark.
for
Ren
sure.
and Stimpy got weird.
But
Did get weird.
if my parents gave me but Rocco's Modern Life,
Oh yeah.
Doug,
Doug was
went
fire.
crazy.
Yeah.
Hey Arnold. I was
Franklin,
a
Hey Arnold.
So good.
Franklin Little Bear. You guys must
I
remember Little
remember
Bear?
that.
back in the day?
wow.
Franklin's
Oh, yeah.
Little
Little
Bear. Oh,
Oh,
dude.
Little
I was an
Yeah,
Arthur
Little
kid too. I'll
The
say that.
older I
Arthur's fine.
get,
Arthur.
the more I just want to live
Oh,
like
yeah.
Mother and Father Bear. That's so nice. They're killing it. They're outside the
100%.
grid, self-sustaining.
outside the grid.
I don't think there's a single political episode. There's no laws. Their kid hangs out with a snake, a rabbit, and like a bird. I think an owl. They're living the dream.
Dude,
In
that's so
2020,
good.
this day and age, that Mother and Father Bear had it down. Franklin was a little too modern for me. I think his dome was a little too nice. I want the
Yeah,
Mother Father Bear
yeah.
cabin. That's it. No feet. Remember
It was,
no
it
feet?
was the
dude?
Bluey family
Yeah.
before Bluey family.
I've
I haven't
never
seen
seen
that
Bluey.
movie.
I've
No.
never
Well,
seen Bluey.
If you have kids, that's,
Cyrus was
that's
never
like how
into
you-
that.
It's like a club for parents. I've noticed. Like I don't have kids, and so they're just like, oh, Bluey, yeah, Bluey.
There's for sure
That's
like an
apparently
inside
Apparently they make
thing.
it in colors
sure,
that
yeah.
that dogs can see.
Yeah.
So like dogs, like the family dog will watch it with you. It's
All
like,
right.
It's like great. What an achievement as a society. We've gotten dogs to watch TV. Like, god damn it, what are we doing? Like,
when I had my
That-
first son, it was the first show outside of anything Mickey related or anything that was like the typical TV shows that most kids that are from born to like 5 years old would watch. And then when I had my second child, this was when Bluey just started picking up from being just a show in Australia to where it came into the States, and it just became this huge thing. And it genuinely is probably like the Little Bear show. It's like it was like that had that type of impact. So
I'm off that Bluey. I was
Yeah.
on that Blues Clues though.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Steve?
That's the original
OG
Blue.
Steve, dude.
OG Steve.
Yeah,
Shout out
come
to
on,
Steve.
man.
He rest
You
in
see, he
peace,
came-
right?
No,
no,
he's still alive.
Sorry,
That's,
sorry.
I
sorry.
think
man.
is Pee Wee Herman. I think it was Pee Wee Herman.
Oh,
Pee Wee
Herman
Herman.
passed.
gone?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think Pee Wee
RIP,
Herman
dude.
passed.
Spare du
Oh
sang.
my
I mean-
gosh. What? I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset now.
Kind of jerked off in a movie theater and got fired. So that's not great. That's not
Did.
great. Steve
Did
didn't
do
do
that.
that. Steve didn't do that. He just sat on the. He just checked the mail.
Steve was just chilling, man.
Paprika. He just
Right.
hang out with
Yeah, I was
Paprika. And yeah.
Oh man, not the jerking off in the movie.
Jesus
There's like a
Christ.
Nike Dunk when Nike Dunks used to be really cool. And it's like an all gray shoe, and I think the tongue is red. and it's modeled after Pee Wee Herman. But if you take the soul out, it's him in the movie theater.
Stop it.
Dude, it's so
no.
good. It's like a row of chairs and then
Stop
Pee Wee
it.
Herman like
Are
sitting
you
there.
serious?
I love those shoes. I used to own those, but I
That's
totally
crazy.
sold them.
They just clowned him like that.
Yeah,
You
oh
just-
yeah. The Nike Dunks back in the day, like the concepts were so crazy. They're so boring now.
Whoa.
There used to be
okay.
really dope concepts for sure.
I can't. I
That
gotta
was
get
one of
the
my
Pee Wee
favorites.
Herman dunks. That's
Yeah. Oh, you
that's
gotta look. Oh, they're
crazy
probably
shit to
$1,000,000
show.
now for sure.
Jared will have them next episode.
Oh, that's dope.
Rocking the Pee-wees.
Oh wow,
Pee Wee
I see 'em.
dunks?
They're
They're
actually
like
a fire
super-
shoe.
They're dope, dude. Because they're super plain on the
Show it,
outside,
show
but
it,
that
let me see.
soul, man, that soul holds a dark secret, man.
That's crazy.
That's
For
crazy.
sure.
Those are
That's bad.
actually they're a fire shoe. I will.
They're
give it
dope,
that.
dude. They're super
Oh
dope.
yeah, it's literally a bunch of movie theater chairs, and at the very end of it is Pee Wee Herman at the
He's
heel.
sitting in the movie theater chair. Yeah.
That's so,
Great shoe.
That's
Great
so
Oh
concept.
my god, that's
Icon
crazy.
combo.
Wow.
Great concept.
How did Benny the spiritual gangster come about?
So my Instagram name is Binja Desai, and that is actually
Sounds like a dope water.
I like that.
I don't know for some reason when I first saw when we started following and all that, it was like Desai. I was like,
Sounds like a good
Dasani,
national
but
park
like
too.
wa-
Benja
like
Desai.
a glacier?
Benja Desai National Park.
Right.
I like
yeah.
that.
Like glacier
Ooh,
out
that's
there.
fire. I've heard so many different oh dude, that sounds really cool. It's actually a Star Wars name. So I think on Cartoon Network,
No way.
somewhere, like one of the websites for Star Wars, you could like type your actual name in and it'll give you like your Star Wars name. And so Benja
remember the
Desai
name
was my
generators.
the generators.
Yes.
So that was inspired by Childish Gambino because he got his name from the Wu-Tang Clan name generator. Now
Oh,
I
that's-
tried the Wu-Tang Clan, but it was not.
I've tried it many
nearly
a
as
time.
Cool,
You
dude.
have it,
Many
just
a
didn't,
time.
didn't
Nothing
pan
as
out?
cool as
No.
Childish Gambino. That's such a
Yeah,
good
Childish
name.
Gambino is great.
That's such a good name. So I was like, you know what, this isn't working. So we're gonna try Star Wars. And so I went to the name generator, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I don't know, and I was like, that was probably like 8th grade. 8th grade, maybe going into my freshman year. And I remember writing it down and just always kind of having it in the back of my mind. I'm like, what could that even be? Like, what could that even mean? I don't know what that is.
Sounds cool.
But it sounds really awesome, yeah. And it's kind of an interesting mix of my name, I'd say, Benja Desai. Like, it's pretty cool.
Mm.
I
Pretty
like it.
cool.
I feel like girls had very different things that would stick with their Instagram handles, and guys, it's just like whatever gaming platform you were on. Like I carried that name over until like 4 years ago. I was almost in my 30s by the time I finally ditched like my original Xbox name as like my
It was done.
internet presence name.
Jeez.
That's dope, dude. Benja Desai, that's a pretty cool one. I remember, and then just to so that name has like a kind of a long history. So that's like the origins of the name. But then I remember I got to high school, maybe like just out of high school in my like early 20s. And I would hang out with these guys from my high school, and his name was Zach. He's probably gonna watch this. So it was like this group of guys, and they called themselves the Usual Suspects. It was
Love that
usually
movie.
suspicious. I love that movie too. And they hated when people would like bring things like, why do they keep talking about this? Well, I mean, it's kind of like the name of the movie. But they
Right.
would
They're
call
like, guys,
themselves-
we'll call ourselves Ocean's 11. How sick is that?
Why do they
Yeah. It's like,
why
what
do
the
they keep
fuck,
talking
guys?
about that
What the- No,
movie?
we came up with that.
Yeah. But so they were usually suspicious, and it was like this rap group that I joined. Now initially I was really just their videographer, photographer, but then they also found out that I could rap a little bit. So I was like, dude, they all had these like super cool rap names, and I was like, I don't really. I mean, Jamila's kind of boring. JB? No. My last name is Bentley. Bentley? No. That's cool, but that's kind of like a
J
there's-
Mill.
yeah, there's like a whole car thing, I guess, with Bentley. And so I thought back to that name, like, oh, Benja Desai, that's pretty cool. And then I think one of the first raps, which I have no idea where the song is, that I rapped on with them, I referred to myself as Benny. And so I was like, that's kind of cool and a little androgynous. That's pretty BA. So that's kind of where it happened.
Just came about.
Yeah.
Now, what I noticed, like I said, I think we've been following each other for quite some time. We've been seeing who you've been working with. You've shot, and again, when I brought up thematic photography, so our boys Jay Tilt, Reggie Rax,
Oh, yeah.
Deli, who did our intro song. That was Deli on the
Yeah.
intro.
Of course.
and Vaverick. So was that was a Boys in the Hood?
Yeah, it
shot.
was.
Okay.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
probably, of all the, I guess, work that I've seen and noticed since then, that was probably one of my favorite projects that came about. We know all those guys. They've all been on our show.
Yeah.
So how did that come about?
I don't know. I don't remember. So I've been listening to Deli every day forever.
Shout out Deli.
Dude,
Yeah.
shout out
Crazy
Deli.
legend.
Oh my
Shout out
gosh,
the
you
man.
guys-
He's that dude.
Arizona
He is
legend.
that. He is
That's
that
Jared's
dude.
dog right
He's-
there,
dude.
dude.
He's such a legend, man. And what a great rap voice, man. Just great. So Deli, I already knew I wanted to work with him, and I was like, that's pretty cool. I should work with Deli every day. And then so Deli and Reggie Rax were probably like two of the first artists that I worked with. Well, Vavricks too, but honestly, like the story with how Vavricks got in, that's kind of funny. So I knew I wanted to do a picture with Deli. And then I was thinking like I'm like such a sucker for like putting obviously like conceptual like photography things that are like kind of interesting, or like recreating like certain things that like I love. Like I love the movie Boys in the Hood too. And so Deli Every Day and J Tilt were kind of just the first names I instantly knew were gonna work.
You
for
knew about
something
J
like
Tilt
that. Oh
as
yeah.
well. Damn.
Yeah, absolutely.
You plugged in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, for real.
I
You're
was so
dialed.
like I was like so under the radar for such a long time before I actually decided like I think I'm gonna start taking pictures of these people.
Well, and the crazy thing is, not to cut you off, is like if you look at
Yeah.
all four of those rappers on paper, they're all completely different.
yeah.
I mean, in style and
Oh, yeah.
look.
Mhm.
And so when I saw that you had Deli, and then I was like, oh, Jay, and I saw the foursome, I was like, what a foursome.
yeah.
You know, it was like
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah, pretty
So,
cool. So Reggie Rex is probably like he's so friendly. My goodness, what a nice guy.
He's a good hooper too.
Oh
Boy-
yeah.
boy can hoop.
Okay.
Boy
I
can
didn't
hoop.
even know that. I didn't even know that.
Boy
That's
can
pretty
hoop.
sweet.
They play together sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Reggie's pulled up to the Y. He's pulled
You
up.
I'll
know
be
what?
honest, when Dom comes in here, when we're doing an episode and he's like, dude, I had a good day today. I'm like, nice. I would say solid for a while, a good 75%. We're like, yo, Reggie was out there, dude.
Reggie can hoop. And he's
Okay.
tall and slender. So
Yeah.
he's
Got that
can-
KD build.
Yeah, he does.
Crazy
He does
KD
have the
build.
KD build.
Right on.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I think I did not know he could hoop. But you know what?
Deli can hoop too.
After that shoot,
Deli can hoop.
they literally were like talking about meeting up and going and shooting hoops. So
Deli-
I was like,
Deli's
okay.
just
Guys
coach.
being dudes.
He is a coach.
Deli's a coach.
That's
He
right.
coaches. Braxton has games at Cesar Chavez High School,
Oh, no way.
which is
that's
where
pretty cool.
Deli went to school, and he coaches there
He
now.
is the
Wow.
coach. He
Yeah.
shot like I think one of his more recent videos that
did.
he did there, right?
Yeah, remember that one,
What a
the
great
freestyle
song,
in the
dude.
gym?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Okay,
so
that was
Cesar
there. Oh, that's-
Chavez.
Man, shout out Deli. every
Deli's
day.
dope,
I'm about to
man.
go play that in the car when we get out of here. So
Play that Uncle Phil. I love
Man,
that.
oh
Uncle
my
Phil,
God.
that's one of my favorites.
That Uncle
yes,
Phil.
that song is so dope. So I knew it was gonna be those two, and then for some reason, I just really, even though Reggie Rex music is so different than theirs, I just really liked the thought of those guys together. And so I added them to a group, and now like our schedules are crazy. So that photo shoot was probably like a good year before it actually happened.
In the making.
Yeah, so I think like February, March, I kind of got everything together, and then we didn't shoot till like December. That was in December. The lowrider took me a while to find somebody with the lowrider, because the homie that ended up pulling up I found him from a Dre Polo. You guys know Dre Polo?
No.
Mm-mm.
He's actually an artist out here. Not a lot of people know about him, but he's got some hits. He's like he's actually one of the first people I shot out here too. So
Oh, cool.
so I saw that car in his music video, because I was looking for a lowrider, but I didn't want anything too like flashy. And so I knew I wanted that lowrider in particular. So I reached out to the homie, but he needed a new transmission. And so that's another reason
All you needed to do is pull
No
up
way.
though.
Dude,
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
Push it out.
Trailer. We got a trailer.
Wheel
We
that
just
shit
park
in,
it, and we
dude.
need to like just sit in it. You don't have to drive it, dude. So I waited all year for that too, for his transmission to get fixed. I remember every couple months I reach out. Is it all right? Cool. I didn't want to like put too much pressure.
That's
'cause
hilarious, though. I love that. How's your transmission, dude?
Yeah, you good, dude?
That's
not
crazy.
like not
Kind of
worried
got
about
something
him.
writing on this.
Your transmission, yeah. So it's just when you have shoots like that, it's just all timing. It's just always timing, working with
And
like
it
everyone's
has to have an
schedules.
organic sense to it, right? I know
It
that might sound
does.
cliche, but it really does.
No, you're
I would
right. You're
assume.
absolutely right. And I'm really like big on like not forcing things to happen because it never works how you think. But when I kind of just like let it go, it's always like the best.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so in between the time of like me coming up with the idea and contacting them and then the actual shoot, I was getting to know Vavrix a little bit more. So because he was also one of the first artists I kind of reached out to shoot, and we did like a Malcolm X picture. So
Oh, yeah.
this was kind of around the time that he was also I mean, this is pretty insignificant information, but he was like he cut his dreadlocks off and everything too.
Oh, we remember.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
man. Oh my gosh. So Vavrix was honestly probably added to that group chat like 2 weeks before the actual photo shoot.
Oh wow.
And I remember pulling up and Jay Tilt was like, dude, I didn't even know Vavrix. I'm so high. I didn't even know Vavrix was in there the whole time. And I was like, he wasn't, dude. I literally just added him like 2 weeks ago. And I'm not sure, like, because I was like, it's just missing someone. There's just something missing. And I kind of went through like a list of artists that I knew in my head. And then I was like, hey, Vavrix, what are you doing, man? And so he pulled up. Shout out to Vavrix. Probably one of my oldest and frequent collaborators because I'm always working with him. So
How did we not get a track after? I mean, that forced him on a
Dude,
track?
Yeah, that would be
How come that
crazy.
hasn't happened?
I swear they talked about it and it just never
Does
happened.
Within Range? Do we need to
Man, push it, man,
throw
please.
some out?
Because I listen, most of the things I do, like as far as like the concepts and the stuff like that, is like pure fan service for myself. Like I know
That's awesome.
everyone really liked the pictures, and I'm really glad you guys like them. But it was purely selfish. I just like all those
Yeah, it was
artists
dope.
individually,
Hell
and
yeah.
I was like, I want this for me because
That's
I want a
hilarious.
song
That's
for
dope.
them.
Right.
I saw
yeah.
a post that was like, I work at a tech company at like a popular app, and they said we hired a new senior developer, and his first project, he resolved this bug that had been outstanding for a long time, and then he put in his 2 weeks notice.
Oh wow.
And he was like, I'm just a user of the app, and I was so tired of dealing with that bug. He
Yeah.
got hired there, went through the interview
That's
process,
crazy.
got hired,
Just to
resolved
fix
the
it.
bug himself, like as a developer, and then he was like, hey, I'm done. Like I just wanted to
I just wanted to fix that,
bug.
dude.
Yeah. And just fix it himself. Yeah, that's huge. Take it into your own hands.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I don't know why we never got a song. I kind of hinted at it, like, you know what? I hinted at it a lot
Well,
on
listen,
the set.
Let's say it here. How about this? How about a Within Range Drew beat
Ooh.
with all four of them on it,
yeah.
dude?
Come on, Eager God.
Because I produced the intro, so
That's all
Oh,
I
that's
Yeah.
such a
know.
So,
Yeah.
Dude.
all right, we're putting it out there.
yeah.
man.
Another shoot you had, which I thought was dope, another
Yeah.
artist we've had on our show, is you did a Breaking Bad
Oh yeah.
shoot with Joey 602, and I think it's Pepe Freeman.
You got it. Yeah.
Joey 602. For those who know the pod,
Dude.
he's one of our favorite
Dude,
guests
he's one of
because
our,
we've had the numbers wise. Joey has given us the most
and we had
success
so
we've ever
much
had
fun
on
with
the
him.
show.
He told us about DMX.
That's
yeah,
a
Joey-
good
that
interview.
was-
Joey was awesome.
Yeah,
that
he
was
like, I was in
crazy.
there with Earl Simmons.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
whoa.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's
right.
like, bro, Earl Simmons. dude.
I was in
Yeah,
jail with Earl
yeah.
Simmons. Dude.
Earl
I was like, oh,
Simmons.
yeah.
Hey, if you know, dude.
Shout out
Can
to
you
Joey,
even
dude.
say that?
Yeah.
For a solid 6 months, that reel that we did about that
It went crazy,
particular
dude.
segment,
We would just
like,
get random
just-
notifications.
Yeah,
that
we
Still,
just
to this
spun
day.
up
up
yeah.
again.
Till this day, people will
loved it.
come back and like it.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Like, it
so, oh, go ahead, Drew.
I was gonna say like it did a few thousand within like the first day, and we're like, cool, like exactly what we were hoping for. And then the next day, Down would like hit us up at like 5 a.m. Dude, this shit's just going nuts.
It just keeps going.
And then for I think for a solid 3 months, it kept going up like 1,000 views, 1,000 views, 1,000 views. And I think one of the
Still
times
gets love.
it
Still
jumped
gets
up
love.
like 5,000. I think then one, I think it was like 3 months in, we were still like getting traction on it, and it finally hit like 30K. It was the biggest so far. I think it's still the biggest video that we've ever
That
done.
was a fun app.
in
Oh,
terms
yeah.
of piece of
He was-
content. Yeah, and
He
so
came in
we-
hot.
Yeah, it came in
Dude,
really
out
good.
of nowhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
me and Earl. Whoa. dude. Whoa.
Shout out, Joey. So how did that one come about?
Same way. Pepe, I say like they were like the first person I really reached out to. There was a lot of people, but Pepe was for sure one of them. And it was Pepe that put me onto Joey 602. And I was just immediately like a fan. Also, those two's chemistry is incredible. Like, so they just have so much love for each other. So if Pepe's doing a show, like an obscure show somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, and he's only got like a 5-minute set, Joey is always pulling up for the feature, always. And it's like vice versa. So I just always loved like the chemistry between those two. And then obviously, like individually, I'm a fan. Like Pepe is an insane lyricist. I don't know if you guys have ever like listened to his music.
No,
I haven't.
Dude,
too much.
he's so because he likes to really stay low key and like under the radar. You don't. I mean, he kind of goes over people's head a lot, and he kind of just like a lot of people just kind of like seem to like. I don't want to say they like forget or skip over him. It's really just because he just like
It's hard to grab
stay out of
people's
the way.
attention these days.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you gotta
yeah.
be loud, and if that's not your persona,
exactly. And he's just definitely not that guy. But he's so insane with the wordplay and the He's also got this like really great flow. And if you ever met him and you hear him speak, he's just like the super quiet, reserved guy. And then when he starts rapping, it's like, who the hell is that?
Mhm.
It's a completely different person. So shout out Pepe and Joey. So I always wanted to do a Breaking Bad photo shoot. And then those
top
two,
3 greatest shows of all time. Just putting it out there.
100%. Yeah, agreed. I
Top 3 is actually
Top
really
3.
crazy though.
Top
three
it goes
is
on
when
my
you
top
think
3.
about it.
I
You
would
think
say
It goes
about
on my
all
top
time?
3. Yes.
All time.
you know what?
Yes.
Yeah, all that. Hey Arnold.
No, yeah.
Breaking Bad for sure.
This is adult.
Angry
television.
Beavers. Yeah.
Angry Beavers
Yeah.
for sure. Top 10 for sure.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
show.
I mean, I can't argue against it, but
Top 3. I'm
I
claiming
mean,
it.
it's probably in there.
yeah.
But I mean, amazing show.
They things rotate too.
Yeah.
It's like I
Yes.
don't really feel like watching Breaking Bad, but it's still, it's in there. But-
When you take it for what it is and the storytelling, the acting, the writing, I mean, it's flawless.
oh yeah, it's a really great
flawless.
show for sure.
And
it
a
was one of
dope.
the-
Oh, go ahead, Drew.
I was gonna say it was one of the few great shows that like was a long running show that actually had a
Yeah.
great ending, because there's a bunch of really great shows that like could have made it as the best, and then it completely fucked up.
We
the
won't talk
ending.
about the
Game of
Sopranos
Thrones.
ending. We won't talk
Game of
about the
Thrones.
Sopranos.
Game of Thrones.
ending. Sopranos is the greatest show of all time, though. We all know that.
Oh yeah.
Sopranos
You're a
had a
fan
bad
of
ending.
you're a
Mad
fan
Men
of
had a
thematic
bad ending.
images. Oh, sorry. Go for it, Drew.
And I was gonna say Sopranos had a bad ending. Mad Men had a bad ending. Dexter, I heard, had a
No.
bad ending. Like
In retrospect, The Sopranos was a good ending.
It's
not
right.
what
You can
people
argue
wanted,
that. You can
but
argue that.
I think it could have been a doper.
he got
ending than
whacked.
that.
He did get whacked.
You just
He
didn't
said-
see it.
He
And it was
said,
confirmed. It
There's
was
only
confirmed.
2 guys out for a boss like me.
Yeah.
It's in a box or in the pen. And
did say that.
and there was always orange juice, and he had orange juice right before he died. There's the whole thing. He got whacked. It was
Got
a good.
whacked.
It was a good end.
He definitely said that for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
I have never seen The Sopranos, but my friend
Got
explained
to.
it to me in great detail. And then I actually watched the clip from the last episode. I was like, dude, he died. I was
Yeah.
like
He got
in the
clipped.
argument.
He got clipped.
Like, you never
To
even seen
Journey.
this shit.
Got clipped.
For sure he
It's
died.
kind of a wild song to die, dude.
yeah,
Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah, I'm not.
It is.
I'd be pretty bummed. I'd be pretty bummed.
Well, so we talked about this earlier, but I feel like at this point, now that we've had you on the show, there's got to be a photo shoot in our future at some point, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I actually reached out to
Yes,
Garrett
I
about
was.
it.
Let's talk about this.
I was in a
Yeah,
very. I was in
let's
a
talk about-
transitional period in my life, and I apologize for not being very
You're super
responsive
good,
because
man.
it was.
But what a great
Things have
role
turned out
that-
better, but
what
yeah,
a great
the
role that
DE
would've
agent
been
would
for
have
you.
been perfect for me. But
For
I
sure.
think,
For that
I think
shoot, right?
Crockett.
Oh yeah.
It was
I
for
think
the-
Crockett
yeah.
needs to happen, dude.
Okay, so
Miami
Oh, yeah.
Vice with some
Miami
saguaro
Vice.
cacti would go crazy.
that would go.
Oh,
crazy.
yeah,
I
that'd
think
be
that would look
fire.
cool instead of just the palms.
So I think so I think that's a good theme. Another one with Drew out here too is you just mentioned Drew, a Mad Men,
Mad Men.
Oh, that'd be so
a
dope.
Mad Men photo shoot
That'd be
because
so
we
dope.
always
Wait, we got. Well, yeah, we got
got
Dom Draper.
Roger Sterling, and then who was old British dude, the one. I mean,
No, you can't
No?
make Drew the British dude. Come on.
Well, who's Drew? Who's
He's
Drew
gotta be
then?
flyer than the
who's
British
Drew
guy.
then? No, the British guy was dope.
I guess he was.
Here, let me see.
Yeah, it's better than me and Pete.
Yeah, you don't want to be
Pete Campbell.
No,
You don't
you
wanna
wanna
be Pete Campbell.
But did you? I guess. I mean,
I was
Mad
gonna say
Men shoot
I'm
would be
okay
really
with being
cool.
Pete. I'm okay with being
you
Pete.
could be Pete.
I could be Pete.
Was there anything that you might have came up with for us, or do you see us in any specific setting? Us 3 guys that might a
No.
thematic sense.
I just haven't thought of anything.
Okay, all right.
So
Miami Vice would go crazy.
Miami Vice.
Miami
I
Vice would
like
be
that. I
awesome.
fuck with
I
that,
love all
dude.
these ideas you
We
guys
need
are
a white
giving me right now.
Testarossa.
Oh,
Where do we get the
Hey,
white
she
Testarossa?
knows how to get a carriage.
Barrett
from
Jackson's here. We
Dude.
could work something out.
I'll for sure have to figure it out for sure.
We'll find the
For
white
sure.
Testarossa.
A white
Dude,
Testarossa might have to go a little further west out to get one of those.
Probably.
No,
Probably.
it's
Nah,
one of the
Drew,
greatest car
pull up to PV,
states in
dude.
the country.
Pull
dude.
up to
There's a white
PV, dude.
Testarossa in Arizona.
Yeah.
There's some Scottsdale guy that's just like me with more money. That's like, you'd be sick, dude, if I had the white Testarossa from
100%.
Miami Vice.
100%. There's always a rich white dude. Remember
With
that.
some crazy idea.
Always.
Yeah.
And they want you to take pictures of their car. They're
Yeah,
like, dude,
they're
no,
like,
no.
Thank
Like,
you.
whatever
You're actually
you want,
the only
dude.
person that's ever appreciated this really niche exotic car that I bought. Yeah.
You're the only one that cares. Thank you.
I'm trying to think of thematic ones for us. What about like a Desperado?
Hubbard Auto Center of
Desperado,
Scottsdale
yeah.
has a Ferrari Testarossa. It's red.
Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you.
They're going to
Perfect. No,
charge
we need
so
white.
much money.
Nope, we need white. It's got to be white.
What color is it?
It's red.
red?
Yeah.
gotta
It's
be
like
white.
it's literally like 80. It's 80. I think it's 85. I think it said.
Oh gosh.
That was a
Something light.
1988. It's a wild car though.
Starsky and Hutch.
Starsky and Hutch would be super cool.
Starsky and Hutch could be cool.
Drew would be a Huggy Bear.
Oh,
that's hard,
That's awesome.
dude.
Can I be
That's
Ben?
super dope,
Am I?
dude.
Oh, I'm Owen Wilson.
Yeah, dude,
I'm
you're
Owen
Owen
Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah.
I would love
Wow.
I would love to do Bad Boys.
I was thinking about that too.
Who-
That's
Drew.
pretty cool.
Dude, I just saw
who was John Sally's character? What was his name?
John Sal.
John
the
John Sally was
captain?
the computer nerd.
The
Yeah, he was the
computer
guy on the
nerd,
computer.
He got
Yeah.
arrested for
Okay,
hacking
yeah.
or some
Yeah,
shit.
and then they
Remember that?
hired him. No, did they
Remember
get him
when
out
he
of jail?
stands up? Remember when he
Yeah.
I'll
stands
hack the
up?
mainframe, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
The
just
Johnny
saw.
Tapia photos.
Johnny Tapia.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Part two is
Mhm.
part two is
Ooh, Jared could be Johnny Tapia.
That would be pretty
Johnny
dope.
Tapias.
Can I be the bad guy that turned into the Yellowstone character from Too Fast, Too Furious? I'd rather be him.
The bad guy
Oh.
that turned into
Yeah,
The one that
yeah.
was dating Eva Mendes. What's his name?
In Too Fast, Too
Oh,
Furious.
that's
yeah.
cool.
He's
forgot
he's
his
ripping
actor.
Yellowstone now.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
That's a
right.
big
He is in
glow up, yeah.
Yellowstone. Right on. That guy was pretty cool.
We're
We
just
could-
we're just tossing some ideas out.
Dude,
If you
I'm
think
gonna
of
go home
something,
and doodle
Hey,
for
if you
sure.
think
I'm
of
just
something-
saying, I could do a
It was
pole walk.
Carter Verone.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm
And
just
those
kidding.
cars
Yeah,
are like way
yeah.
easier to get my hands
that
on.
would
Like
be
all the
that
Fast
would
and
be
Furious
dope.
cars
That
for
would
sure.
be that would be
It's
hard.
way easier
in
to
an
get.
eclipse, dude.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
Man.
That'd be I'm gonna have to brainstorm this because even the one that we were talking about was like for something else, and that I still have the idea. I still want to do that, but that one's just definitely all in the timing because that's
I've
kind of
got
a
all
big
the gear
project.
for a DE agent, just minus the patch. No,
Oh
I'm just
man,
kidding.
oh man, that's such a good role. That's as soon as I saw you, I was like, "Yep,
I can see it.
Yep,
I
that's our
get
DA
cop
agent.
all the time. No,
Yeah.
just-
That's a good one. Melly Bands is also like super hard to get in touch with, so she's a really busy person. But I won't do the shoot with anybody else. So whenever she's ready, I'm here.
that's it. You have all the leverage because you're just doing the things that you want, and you have all the patience in the
That's
world.
it.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah,
You'll just
absolutely.
wait till the stars align.
I
for
said this
them.
is just fan service. Man.
Yeah, that's
it's gonna
awesome.
happen.
Right.
It's gonna happen.
Okay, speaking of being a fan, sounds like you're a Star Wars. You're a Star Wars gal.
Mildly.
Oh, okay,
Mostly I
okay.
just really wanted a cool name.
Okay, you just thought. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
But I do
all
like
right.
I do like Star Wars.
We're
for
gonna
sure.
throw out a Star Wars fact.
I was just gonna
or
say,
we're
I was debating this with someone recently. Does episode 1 deserve all the hate it gets? And I'll say in general, yes, but only because they didn't give us enough Darth Maul.
Okay.
We all wanted
my
more
gosh.
Darth
Darth Maul
Maul.
was
Yeah.
fire.
We got like
such a
15
great
minutes of
and
Darth
he was
Maul.
like in all the trailers and the movie
Yes.
posters.
Oh yeah, he was.
I'm
they
not
marketed
kidding.
him
I'm
like
embarrassed
crazy.
to say
Oh my
I
God.
was Darth Maul for 3 consecutive Halloweens. 3
dude.
consecutive Halloweens. I was
Uh-huh.
like, my mom was like, "Do you want?" I'm like, "No, Darth Maul." And I had the double edged.
What years were
lights,
these,
double,
dude? What years are we talking?
Oh, that's early. That was
Was it
maybe
late
in
90s?
2000. No, I
Yeah.
think
No,
it
it was-
I think it was
2000.
2000. I was a
2000,
kid.
2001.
Yeah, because I was for sure Darth Maul that year for
You were
Halloween.
too?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was for sure. As soon
And
as
then-
I saw the movie, I was so
came out in
bummed out.
99.
People that didn't
yeah.
know, they were like, "What is
99,
this
yeah.
devil that is coming
Oh
to my
my
door right
gosh.
now?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
It's
Darth Maul,
Darth
bitch."
Maul.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
It's Darth Maul, mom.
I honestly feel like he was one of the last, like Darth Maul was like one of the last big, huge marketing characters for like everything. Like, cause Taco Bell sponsored Star Wars that particular film. Cause I remember they had all the different.
I remember
characters
Yoda
and
being all
stuff.
over the place too. Though.
Yeah, like
Yoda-
just
Yoda
that was
was
like
a-
one of the. I think that was like one of the last films where like it got picked up super heavy. And I feel like we haven't really seen a movie like that where it's like
Dude.
on toys and on stuff like connected to like food franchises and shit like that. I miss shit like that. To me,
Dude,
like
Yes.
Disney did a really good job of that with Star Wars. So what I realized is like you watch episode 1 and people hate on it, like that saw it as adults or something. But when you watch that as a kid, it was incredible. Like it was awe-inspiring and it got you hooked on it and you were definitely going to see the rest of them. And then I watched when they came out with the latest 3, I remember watching the first one and being like, God, this is kind of like childish. And then I remember being like, that's how they get them. That's how they get the
Right.
kids. And then everyone gets hooked in and you get into it and it goes and it's like, it's such a long game that they play as like a studio with those
Yeah.
movies.
Right.
But I love it.
It's pretty genius, yeah. Because like, if you saw like the 90s ones, like the Phantom Menace and stuff, but you never saw the ones from the 80s because you didn't grow up, they were just
They're
as
still
awesome to you.
You're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I don't
Because
care
my
about
dad
whatever's going on back
speaks
there.
like highly of the 80s ones. I'm like, Dad, I don't, look, I guess it's pretty
I
cool.
don't care about a Scarlet
Whatever,
Pit,
dude.
Dad.
But like
yeah.
Darth Maul would like kick Han Solo's ass.
Yeah,
So whatever, Dad.
He's got 2 lightsabers.
Yeah, dude, he's got double. I mean, he's dead,
Right.
but his lightsaber's double. Whatever.
Took down Qui-Gon Jinn. So.
Yeah, come on, man.
Man.
Who is Liam Neeson? Just in case you didn't know. Was it? Yeah, it is Liam Neeson, right?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
cool. I just
Liam
Yep,
Neeson.
wanted to make
100%.
sure I
No, you
got
nailed
that
it,
right.
nailed
Okay,
it.
cool. Cool. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
you got, Jay?
So, I mean, what better note to go out than Liam Neeson and Star
Liam
Wars?
Neeson,
That's
dude.
from where we started. That's
Liam
beautiful to
Neeson.
me. There's something poetic about it.
Drew, what you got, big dog?
Besides that Fly Bulls hat, dude, I'm liking that.
Yeah, he wore. I think he rocked that the last one too. It's nice. I just watched The Last Dance for the 15th time again. A lot of life lessons you could take out of that documentary, man.
My favorite
A lot
life
of
lesson
life
from that one, dude. He's like, people were asking me, how did you position this shoe? How did you know that the shoe was going to be a thing? He's like, I just wanted to be the best basketball player
Yep.
on the court.
And
He's
that
like,
made
and I
the
knew
shoe
the rest
sell.
would take care of itself. And
Yep.
I was like, God damn,
Genius.
That's it.
beautiful.
That's all you got to do.
That's beautiful.
That's it, man.
Well, Jamila, you do a good way of marketing yourself, and you're tapped into the scene. You're connected. You're a lot of the people I feel like lately that you've shot have been on our platform, and it's cool to see what you've done. And I'm glad we finally got to chop it up. It's been a minute.
Yeah,
we
dude.
we both I feel like in that time have kind of come a long way and have evolutionized to what we're meant to be now. And
Oh yeah.
this was dope having you on. Really
Thank
appreciate
you,
you
man.
coming on.
Thank you,
It's
guys.
awesome.
I really
Hope you had a
appreciate it.
good time.
Oh
Hope it
yeah.
was good.
Oh yeah. Thank
Perfect.
you so much. Listen, man, I manifested the hell out of this.
You're
I was
good at it. We
I
like it.
really want to be on that podcast because I would watch you guys' like show pretty religiously, I think at first. And so I went back and watched like all the old episodes like Merkham's and the 602 Byron. I think you guys, the first one you did was Vavrix, right? It was like the
That was
very
our
Vavrix was
first-
number 2,
Number
actually.
two?
Yeah,
it was number
Okay.
2.
And we didn't
Yeah.
even have video back then.
Yeah.
That was Dre,
yeah.
and then that
Dre
first
and
Arizona
Vavrix.
was yeah.
Vavrix was
Wow,
there.
that's crazy. The 602 Byron episode. That was a
No one's
crazy
ever
time. So
mentioned
was at
that,
my
actually.
last-
You're actually the
that was
first-
at my
Oh,
last
really?
place. Yeah.
I think she's the first one that's ever
Ever
brought him
mentioned
up.
the six,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
and
we've-
we were like, we thought that episode was gonna blow up. He was
Yeah.
going crazy at
Yes.
the time.
Yeah.
Crazy,
Yeah.
yeah. Wow. Yeah, that was
I remember-
eras, dude.
Taking his picture, I thought the same thing too. I was like, dude, this is gonna be so awesome. Whenever I think that, it never
That's
happens.
Yeah.
that
You
Yes.
should never shoot with that idea
Yes.
Yes.
because it never happens. But all the like fun stuff that I like to do, I'm like, oh, it just gets received so well because
Yes.
it's just
That's
like I
what
said,
Rick
it's all
Rubin would
just
tell you
fan
to do, though.
service.
He'd be like, don't make the one that you think's gonna be cool. Make
It's
the one that you're
never-
like, oh, this would be awesome.
Yeah,
yeah.
Right.
exactly. It's never what you think. That I know that the astronaut shoot that I did with those guys, I was like, this is so awesome. Like, this is so awesome. And it like ended up going so viral and like, well, it like very low levels of being viral. So I was like, oh, cool. I'm glad you guys really like it. This is really for me. I really like all these guys and I just wanted to put them in space outfits and just like mess around. But I'm really glad you guys like this shoot. And then a song happened. That was pretty good. That was
See?
pretty good.
That's
I
awesome.
need to put that song out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, that Deli every day. J Tilt, guys, please.
We'll make it happen.
I think
Swear to
that'd be
God.
crazy
Drew will
cipher,
get it
too.
going.
That'd be a crazy
I think if
cipher.
anybody
Oh
can
my
make it happen,
gosh.
Dom can make it happen.
Oh yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
we'll put the pieces together.
Yeah.
I,
But
I sense a group chat coming.
Man,
Yeah,
it's coming.
I'm gonna go make it right
Let's
now.
go. Sauce
For
it up.
sure. I'm for sure
Sauce
gonna
it
make
We
it.
were just talking, guys. It needs to happen.
What you got, Drew?
So one of the things I was gonna say, and I think this is why it's working for you, is I think what you're doing is you're looking to create moments rather than sell the moment. And I think you're taking a lot of the business aspect of it and you're approaching probably the people that you want to shoot with that intention. And that's what I think seems more welcoming to it is you're not selling them the idea. You're like, hey, this is what I have envisioned. Obviously you're studying that artist or that particular person that you want to shoot. So you kind of know what they represent, what their brand is. So you're kind of putting them in the space of how would I look at this as a fan? And you're just kind of cultivating that process to be able to do with that. And I like that because it almost reminds me of how when we got Deli to do our intro song. I remember Dom was actually in town. We were in the city and we were literally walking on Wacker, which is right where the river is. And I was like, yo,
No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, how dope would it be if we had somebody do an intro song for us? And we had a couple of other people in mind as well. But Deli was like our number one guy that we had in mind of like, this is who we think we should have it. And we talked about it. And then eventually, like, I think one random day I just finished doing something. And then I was like, I'm going to work on this. And I'm going to literally be here until I like leave with something. And I put it together. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to send it to the guys. And worst case scenario, it's not the thing. And immediately right after their first impressions of it are like, all right, cool, let's send it. I think Dom was the one that wrote up the entire, like, this is the pitch, this is what we're gonna do. And I think within like 4 days?
He was ready, dude. He was locked in. Well, and that's why I think we chose him too, is like, he was one of our favorite guests we had. He really showed us a lot of love even after that, which some people have, others haven't. That's another debate. But we just felt like Deli was a good representative of Arizona.
Right.
Like himself and then what we would embody. And so when it just made sense for the, for the intro, that's when it came. And I'm sure it was similar to what.
Oh yeah, you guys' new theme. When I first heard it, I was like, you know what this is? This is the All That theme song. This is so good.
Awesome.
He didn't have to go that
God, that's
hard.
high. He did not.
He didn't. And
he went. What was his name? He went Phil Collins on the Tarzan.
Oh my god.
He went Phil Collins. They're like, yeah, it's just a movie about a guy that lives in the jungle and thinks he's a gorilla.
Just go do whatever
it's
you
like,
need.
Just do whatever. It's just
most amazing soundtrack ever.
What makes the song even better is he took a couple of days and like we reached out to him. We're like, hey, how's everything looking? He's like, I'm still kind of figuring out what I want to do. And I think there was a moment where he was basically like, I really wasn't sure how to take it. He goes, so I just kind of did like what first came to mind. Mm-hmm. And when he sent it to us, because I think he was like, if there's anything you need me to change, like I just kind of went like first what was off my head. I kind of couldn't figure out like where I wanted to go with it. And to him, I think he like felt like he took the simple route and just made it super like generic probably in his thought process. But then when we sent it and we heard it, it was exactly of what we thought it could be 10x more.
Yep.
Like everything he says was like every bar is literally a bar that's memorable and like you can put on a t-shirt. And I think just you don't have to think. It's not about thinking about making the perfect thing. It's just we wanted you to do it because your essence of what it could be is what we needed, and then just let the pieces fall where they may.
Absolutely.
And he did that. So I think creatively where it comes down to is like how you're doing it now. I think just keep doing that until you get to a point where you can elevate maybe, let's say, the cost of doing something or doing something on a bigger scale, but just even more cost efficiently. I love people that can take certain things that obviously can be blown up because you can add more resources, add more people or things like that. But I think there's a specialty in a look of something when you actually strip all of the resources down to the most simplest parts. Because at that point, all you rely on is just the expression of whatever it is you're creating.
It's like those Lyrical Lemonade, like the Cole Bennett ones, where it's just like, those are honestly pretty simple, but they're cool and they're like their own unique style.
Yeah, they're super dope. I love Cole Bennett for sure. That's exactly it. It's just taking. I already like these things. These usually it's like artists. I already like you. So at that point, it's just like I may have already been thinking about an idea, and it's just like putting it together and just making it cool. Sometimes like kind of like how Deli was just like, I just kind of did what I thought I should do first. That's it.
Right.
Just whatever comes through, just do it.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
do it. That's what I always try to like. People are like always trying to give like some of the stuff I do when I talk to people. Do like these like deep, like really like complex. Like, dude, I just really wanted these guys to be in spacesuits. I
Mhm.
thought it'd be cool.
yeah.
That's
Right.
it. I've got nothing. I've got
That's
nothing. I
awesome.
did this. One of my favorite shoots that I ever did was actually the guys who was here with me. His record label, Initiative Records, and I don't know. The shoot itself looks like something from the movie Usual Suspects. I wasn't even thinking about that movie. I just wanted those dudes in suits in a lowrider. That's
Yeah,
it. I
oh,
just
yeah.
thought it was
Yeah.
really awesome.
That would be cool.
Yeah. It exists. Check it
That's
out. It's on my
awesome.
Instagram.
that.
Check it out.
For sure.
Well, hey, Jamila, that camera right there, let the people know what you got coming
Mm-hmm.
up, what we can expect, and what to look out for.
Okay. So I just first episode of the Phoenix Cypher drops. It's like kind of me and Vavrix Owens' Love's Child, where we just really want to promote like a ton of artists.
That sounds
No
awesome.
matter what you do, the Cypher. Oh my gosh, dude. Well, so we've already recorded like 10 episodes.
Damn.
Amazing.
They're
Love
so
it.
good. They're so good. I can't wait for you guys. To
You don't
see.
want Snoop
That's
Beastwood on the
cool.
track
No,
right
no,
here.
stop
Let
it,
me
stop
tell you,
it.
this guy right here, dude. This guy.
Say
Nah,
less.
uh-uh.
Say less. That we've got. Dude,
No.
honestly, I've got like a ton of stuff coming. So the Phoenix Cypher. There's an Instagram. Please go follow us. And then there's like so many people on that project that just like really made that come to light. It's gonna be so good, guys. I'm so serious. The first episode
Awesome.
drops September 20th. And then I know like the really popular one is the astronauts. The actual name of the project is KRS HB1, but everybody calls those guys like the astronauts. Kid Friendly, Kid Parrish, Wolfgang Smoke, and K Loud.
Wolfgang Smoke is he's part of that Show the World, right?
Yes,
STW?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that project, part 2 is coming probably
Nice.
at the top of the year, and that's going to be pretty insane too.
Okay,
So-
big stuff coming.
Oh
Love
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of big stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's some other stuff, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of just they're all just thoughts right now. I mean, it'll probably happen, but you know.
So we'll add our photo shoot to that, and then
Oh, yeah,
you
that's
can
already
tag
in
that
there.
on. That's already in the book.
I'm
so-
already stirring that up.
All right.
Yeah,
sure. We
when
might
I,
do
co-
like
when
a-
I come out there, we might have to just get you just to hang out for like the 3 days that I'll be there.
Dude,
just to
absolutely.
shoot photos.
Absolutely.
We should do it like the old school Wiz Khalifa Data Days. That'd be so fun.
Oh,
I
shit.
love those.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those were
Those
so
are
so
sick. Those are the
entertaining.
best, dude. The one by Southwest. One of my favorites.
So good.
So good.
Those are so good.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna go watch those.
Heck
Oh,
yeah.
What an episode. Appreciate you coming on. It's
Thank
another
you, guys.
episode
Yeah.
within Range Podcast, and we're going to be keeping up. Thank you.
Sweet. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Hit us, Drew. Hit us with that outro.